Dustin Poirier, Michael Chandler. Now, the fight started to be created because the fact that Poirier called out Chandler and they got in a bit of a kerfuffle. And you could probably see this starting a little bit back when Poirier was fighting McGregor and Chandler was on the same card fighting Dan Hooker. Because Poirier didn't really give Chandler acknowledgement or respect being new into the organization and kind of being slotted up into kind of the top 5. And you can kind of see that forming. Now, in the events from that, we've seen Chandler fight Oliveira for the title, lose. We saw Chandler fight Justin Gaethje, probably for the number 1 contender spot, and he lost. And then we saw Chandler beat Tony Ferguson by a devastating KO. We've also seen Poirier fight McGregor twice. We've seen Poirier fight Charles and lose. He obviously won against McGregor. But that's what we've seen. And I wonder why Poirier, and I know there's a video about it on DC's channel, but why did Poirier decide to spout up against Chandler? Is it to cause rivalry, to cause that fight? Because what's in that fight for Poirier? Chandler was on he lost twice and then beat a Tony Ferguson who's questionably should still be fighting. What's in it for him? Chandler's a risky fight. Chandler's extremely strong and has a potential to knock you out. He's built like an Adonis. He's a big 155. And so is Poirier, but they're kind of two separate builds, physically. But what's in it for Poirier to take that fight? It doesn't put him in a number 1 contender spot. Chandler thinks it puts him in a number 1 contender spot, but I don't think you can make that feasible until he's beat Justin Gaethje or Islam Makhachev or Beneil Dariush. So why is Poirier fighting Chandler? Money? Potentially. I mean, he took the Conor fights over the title fight, which who wouldn't? Would it have made sense for Poirier to fight Gaethje again? Because that's a big fight no matter which way you sell it. You've got Gaethje coming off a loss. You've got Poirier coming off a loss. Both last number 1 contender shots. Was a really good fight the first time they fought. Both men are definitely further along in their careers now than where they were back then. Both men have matured. Both men like to stand up fight. Both men can wrestle. Both men can grapple. I think that fight would have been a better one to make. Maybe it's a timing thing? Potentially, right? Potentially it's a timing thing. Gaethje was coming off the loss to Charles, and then Poirier wanted to fight. However, that was a few months back. I still think Gaethje could have made a fight. But then you've got Poirier causing a ruckus at UFC event, spouting off to Chandler when his family are there to cause this rivalry, to cause this fight to start. But then does Poirier really want to fight Chandler? Because Poirier was ready to jump in against Diaz. And we know Diaz has been on Poirier's hit list for a while. That fight's been attempted to make and has never come through. So I don't know. It's a strange matchup. I think it's UFC 281 we're expecting these two to fight. It's just an odd matchup because it doesn't get Poirier anywhere. I personally don't think it gets Poirier anywhere. Maybe it does. Maybe it puts Poirier back in the kind of that number 1 contender spot. or at least close to it. But if he loses, let's say hypothetically Poirier loses, he gets dropped probably out of the pound for pound rankings, and it potentially puts him out of the top 5 in lightweight. And maybe they'll end up putting Chandler against the winner or against Gaethje for a rematch. I mean, I'd see that. I'd watch that fight again. Wouldn't you? That was a cracking fight. Even though Gaethje doesn't think it was a good fight. That was an absolute war. It was great to watch. I was on edge the entire fucking time. The potential matchups in that division are endless. And I don't think Gaethje's going to fight Dariush, because I think they're either teammates or they know each other. Why wasn't a Beneil Dariush Poirier fight made? Why is Beneil Dariush fighting Gamrot? Beneil Dariush was going to be fighting the person right now who's going for the title next Saturday. This Saturday, UFC 280. Instead, he's fighting a contender who is lower than him in the rankings. How did that happen? Why is he not fighting a Gaethje? Yes, that maybe they're teammates or friends or whatever the case may be. Why isn't he fighting a Poirier? Why is he not fighting someone in that top 5? Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Instead, we now have a Poirier versus Chandler, which gets us nowhere. It's just a good fight to watch. It will be a war, 100%. I guarantee you there's a fight. It's going to be similar to a Justin Gaethje fight. I think Chandler takes the L, because I think Poirier's maybe a little bit more durable. Chandler's been in a lot of wars. He's showing a lot of wear. The heart's with him, though. I love watching Chandler fights. It's a fun fighter to watch. And maybe that's all it is. Maybe it's just a fan-friendly, fun fight. I'm okay with it. But are they? Is Poirier? Is Chandler? Chandler's looking at it as a jump to get back to the top. Chandler has a limited amount of time left before he potentially retires. He's going to age out of the sport. We don't want to see him decline further like a potential Tony Ferguson. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. If you watch this video 7 minutes, 51 seconds, you should probably hit that subscribe, hit that like button, hit that little bell that notifies you the next time I go live. Appreciate you all who watch these videos. Let me know what you guys think. Leave me a comment down leave the comment down below on why you think these two are fighting. What the benefits will they get? No, just leave me a comment. I'm interested to see your perspective. Thanks for watching this one. I will see you on the next one.